Today I'm going to give you an explanation on what happened to Apollo, one of the most cherished dogs that we have ever rescued. A dog that went through absolute hell. A dog that had an entire community rooting and fighting for him. A dog that had the opportunity of a lifetime, and a dog that we really don't know where he is. Hi, this is v.larkhill from the beautiful great house, our sanctuary in Spain. I'm about to show you, well, not me, this guy over there, Tom McPhee from the World Animal Awareness Channel. Our collaboration with the channel is helping us reach more and more people, get a wider audience, as well as fundraise in ways we couldn't do it before. Please watch this video. It's a full rescue story, and please don't forget to donate at the end. Everything, all the proceeds from this fundraiser are coming to us. This is really helpful. Please donate. Thank you very much. And watch the video to the end. It helps.
It's an animal world out there. Watch the World Animal Awareness Society channel and feel right at home. Come, sit, subscribe, and stay a while.
Last week, we did something that many people say that it was extraordinary. We jumped on a plane and we went to rescue a dog that was living by the side of the road, mourning his dead owner. He had been living there for 2 years and nobody did anything. I watched the video, I couldn't believe it, so I jumped on a plane and I got the dog. That's what we do. But this rescue didn't end with Hachiko. After we put Hachiko in the van, we continued our trip. And then something else happened. We drove for 4 hours down to the south of the Peloponnese, to Kalamata. And this is what happened next. Listen, two weeks ago, one of my friends sent me a picture that you had asked for help. And the things that we have done, many dogs with the same problem. But very importantly, this has filaria, which is heartworm. Okay, so I know what his problems are, and we have treated many animals like him. So I told Valia that I was going to go to Greece, I was going to do another rescue, and that we will drive down south to Kalamata. And if you want, we can be there in 3 hours. Vamos a Kalamata.
¿Estás loco?
No, vamos a Kalamata, venga, va. Vale. A ver, escucha. So we're still in Greece. Yesterday we showed you what happened with Hachiko, Greek Hachiko. Mira, aquí está. We caught him. He's here in the back of the car. We are now heading to another rescue. The thing is that just before coming, somebody contacted me and asked for help for this dog that is in a shelter in the south. He has a broken jaw and he has worms inside his heart, heartworms. The dog is tiny, he's very small, and he's in a shelter that is full of dogs. He's not gonna make it. We know that if he continues there, he's just not gonna make it. So we're gonna drive 4 hours down to Kalamata in the south of Greece to pick up this dog. Let's see how it goes. We don't know what's gonna happen. Somebody showed me this picture of this dog south of Greece, and they asked for help. And Valia, which is here, had posted that picture on her YouTube channel. And that's how we got in touch. I wrote to her and said, look, I would like to help you. What about it? How do we do this? And this is where she is right now. So tell me, how did you enjoy Hachiko's rescue?
I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry I didn't believe it in the beginning. It seems too good to be true that you were so sure. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
A huge success.
We're really happy. And now, well, we're going south. Kalamata is a 4-hour drive from the place where we were. It's a big shelter. There are a lot of animals, there are hundreds of them. And as every shelter is run by great people, they start with great intentions, but I think that somehow they got overwhelmed. Many people are leaving animals there. There are no local adoptions. It's really difficult. So we're gonna see if we can help them. I would like to go pick up this dog. I would like to get him, and at the same time I would like to show the conditions at the shelter. I would like to show the way these animals live, and maybe, just maybe, after you watch this, one or two or maybe many of you would like to help them. But I tell you, I don't know how it's gonna be, so let's see. So we are arriving to Dash Dog Charity. Really complicated way, and somehow the location is seems to be a bit. I mean, they don't want everyone to know where it is, so we'll have to keep the secret. Now, you know, people dump dogs on places like this all the time. I don't know what we're gonna find. We're gonna see in a few minutes.
Τώρα είμαστε στη Πάνη Τσοπανάκη. Γυρνάμε προς τα πίσω. Να κάνω αναστροφή.
Past. No sign of nothing. It's in the middle of the fields in the Peloponnese. There are olive trees everywhere. Aquí, no? This is one? La perrita tiene un problema de corazón y cuando intentan afeitarla y cuando intentan cortarle el pelo, le empieza a palpitar el corazón y tienen que parar, pobrecita.
You can't get this too close.
Yes.
Yes. And there's total balance. But I don't really suggest an amputation. But
Yes, but I tell you what it is. I know what it is. Okay. I know, I can imagine. Probably they show that nothing is broken. Come, have a look. They probably show that nothing is broken, but he has no sensitivity, no feeling, okay? He has a brachial nerve fracture. So the nerve is severed.
amputation.
Yes, of course. But the dog changes completely because he doesn't have. Guys, if any of you is a vet, this place needs you. So just contact me. Here's my email address. Get in touch with me. I'll tell you how to get here. If you don't come from very far away, I may even send you the ticket. But definitely, these people need help.
Morning,
súper buena mujer. Es súper buena mujer.
Sí, lo es, no lo es. Muy buena, excepcional.
Qué fuerte. ¿Cuál es su historia? ¿Tú sabes?
Y muy elegante. Bueno, no vivió, ha vivido en el extranjero, ha vivido en Estados Unidos, en Inglaterra, volvió a Grecia, no es griega, y dijo que iba a trabajar de voluntaria en la organización local de animales. Y terminó con tantos. Porque nadie ayuda, así pasa en Grecia, especialmente en regiones rurales. No hay voluntarios, nadie esteriliza, les tratan mal. Cada día encuentras perros con las patas rotas, con no sé qué, muy enfermos, con sarna, de todo. Cachorros, 10 cachorros por la calle un día, que no termina nunca. Y no hay veterinarios, hay uno. ¿Qué puede hacer? No puede hacer todo.
¿Quién hay aquí? ¿Quién lleva esto? ¿Ella? ¿Ese señor? ¿Es su marido? ¿Quién es?
Este es un voluntario nuevo, no, es ella.
Es ella.
Sí, ella sola. Lo empezó con su novio, que se fue. Y se quedó sola. Y tiene voluntarios que son como turistas, gente joven, que viene y pasa unos días, hay unas caravanas atrás, viven ahí adentro. Chicos vienen de Canadá, de Australia, de Nueva Zelanda, de Europa, y viven acá como si fuera un camping. Y limpian y alimentan a los perros, se quedan un mes. Todo el verano, todo el invierno lo pasan sola.
Sí, dice, hello. Hello. Madre mía. Madre mía, eso es lo que tiene.
It's also the eye. He cannot be out with these giants.
He has a broken jaw. One of the eyes is gone, and we're gonna try to fix that jaw. Jorge, if you're watching this, you have to fix this.
Years.
The dog has, on top of the fracture, he has heartworm, and they don't have the right medication, and they don't know the extent of the problem with heartworm, and they don't know how many worms he has and how big they are. So we're gonna have to fix that. Good job. So we're leaving now. You've seen the conditions of Dash Animal Center. They have amazing needs. They're doing a great job with very little. This is a woman that has dedicated her life to these animals. I'm pretty sure she will have loved to have a different kind of place, but sometimes things just happen, and I've met many people that start a shelter and immediately or just after a while they become overwhelmed. This is a good woman. This is a great person, and she's sacrificing her life because of these animals. So for this, she deserves as much help as we can give her. Wow. I'm gonna leave her PayPal address at the bottom of this video. It's a PayPal me, it's very simple. Click there and give them a hand because they need it. They need it. So we're now gonna drive to Athens, and from there we'll go to Spain and in a few days you will be seeing more of the little one. But it's gonna need treatment and surgeries and everything. Yeah, that was the video for today. See you soon. Bueno, tienes más pequeños en el de los perros. What you have just seen is the extraordinary fight of a woman to save as many animals as she can under terrible circumstances. And like her, there are tons of people doing amazing work in Greece and all over the world. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and I really hope that videos like this contribute towards highlighting their plea. I will never forget the face of that woman when she handed me Apollo. Her eyes were pleading, they were trusting. I promised her that I will do everything to save the life of this dog. Apollo has heartworm, and Apollo has a terrible jaw fracture. We need to fix this. We're gonna put the best team we have to save the life of this dog. Hi, it's been 2 weeks since we rescued Apollo in southern Greece, in Kalamata. We went there, we got him out of this shelter where he was struggling to survive. We flew to a hospital in Spain, and for the last 2 weeks we have been preparing him for surgery. You see, the problem with Apollo is not only that he has a broken jaw that's spectacular and very visible. His problem is that he has a heart full of worms. The disease is called filariasis. It's a parasite that enters the heart, attaches itself to the walls of the heart, and sucks the blood and gets a nutrient from there. The problem is that as the parasite grows, and there are many of them, they can block the exits of the heart, and then the animal collapses and dies. So the first priority is to get these worms out. There are two strategies. One is through drugs, and this has some risks. When the worms dislodge themselves and they die, they may block the heart, so you end up killing the dog. And the other one is through an intervention that we have performed today. It's an intervention that has its risks as well. In it, we go through one of the veins, and we enter the heart with a very special equipment, and we got the worms one by one. I'm about to show you what Apollo has been doing for the last 2 weeks and the surgery we did today. I would like to ask you to please watch it, because it's I think watching this you're gonna understand the love and the care that we put through each one of our rescues. This is Apollo.
Hey, won't you stay a little bit longer? I'm sorry, didn't mean to, but I heard you cannot undo it. So please stay. I know that we've been fighting, but can't we just hold up? Maybe stay up, try to make things right. I don't know why I did what I did. Somehow I think that I lost my head. Don't know why. Don't know why. I have realized when I'm with you, I wanna do what it takes to make you see that we'll be alright if you just let me show you that I can do better. And I apologize
The surgery went well, but it was impossible for us to access the worms. You see, the place where they are located, the equipment that we had, the size of Apollo's heart, it's tiny. We really couldn't reach it. So as hard as we try, it didn't work. Now the only thing that we can do is to treat him through drugs, medically, being very careful, and let's hope that as the worms, disappear, they don't block that tiny heart. There's nothing else we can do. So Apollo remains at the hospital. We're gonna be very, very careful with the treatment, and hopefully in 2-3 weeks, we will be able to have some better news. But for now, he needs to be at the hospital. He's happy, he doesn't have any pain, he has lots of friends, he's eating well, we're giving him soft food through the mouth. So he's okay, please don't worry about that. But know that he's at the hospital and that he needs you. At the bottom of this video, there is a link, there's a PayPal link where you can donate towards his treatment and surgery. And if you feel that what we are doing is worthy.
try to make things right. I don't know why I did what I did. Somehow I think that I lost my head. Don't know why. Don't know why. I have realized when I'm with you, I wanna do what it takes to make you see. Make you see that we'll be alright if you just let me show you that I can do better. And I apologize for everything.
The surgery.
This morning I got a call from our cardiologist. He told me that they did an echocardio and they looked inside Apollo's heart and they've seen that the level of worms has decreased enormously. He's doing really well. We're going to continue with this treatment for a while longer. This is not over yet, and once this is done and there are no more worms, or maybe 1 or 2 left, then we will fix the jaw. When we got him, we knew this was going to be a complicated, long, very costly project, but we couldn't leave him there. We also took the decision knowing that all of you were here and that he will never be alone. And that's where we are. Apollo is at the hospital. He will get well soon, I promise you, and we're gonna fix that jaw. Great news. Apollo is going to be operated in a couple of days, and here for the first time we're going to show you the prosthesis that we have prepared. Now this is the first time in the world that is done on a dog like Apollo. Jorge, ¿nos lo explicas?
Sí, bueno, podemos ver la fractura que tiene Apollo con ausencia de hueso de mandíbula completamente, está aquí, ¿vale? Y aquí. Esto está totalmente al aire y aquí. Vale. En el caso de Apollo vamos a poner una prótesis de un material que han desarrollado unos compañeros ingenieros en Ecuador. El material se llama PIC. Es esto de aquí que os enseño porque estamos ya muy cerca de la operación y hemos autoclavado con un sistema especial de óxido de etileno, ¿de acuerdo? Esto de aquí es la prótesis hecha a medida exacta sobre una reconstrucción de material acrílico en 3D. Este material lo vamos a utilizar el día de la operación para poder hacer una simulación en tiempo real y también está estéril, ¿eh? Lo que veis aquí amarillo son unas guías para las zonas que están marcadas. Veis aquí los agujeritos que irán los tornillos. Está todo perfectamente diseñado, reconstruido y planteado en una computadora en 3D y con la impresora 3D también. Lo hemos llevado al físico y luego faltará implantarlo sobre Apollo. ¿Cuál es la complicación? Esta es una intervención muy compleja porque tenemos primero los antecedentes que ya conocéis de Apollo, de su enfermedad cardíaca, la filariosis, que estamos controlando y que tenemos ahora estable. Pero Apollo, como habéis podido ver, toda la prótesis está planteada sobre unos restos de mandíbula que están alineados. En el caso de Apollo, su mandíbula no está alineada, el traumatismo ha sido tan grande que la mandíbula se ha doblado. Lo podéis ver aquí, fijaros ahora otra vez, ¿lo veis? La mandíbula no está recta, mirad dónde entra el diente. Entonces, lo que hace la operación de Apollo tan compleja es que vamos a tratar para que esta prótesis sea funcional, no quede una mandíbula totalmente torcida y pueda comer con ella, pues reajustar en la máxima medida posible la alineación de la mandíbula desde la ATM. Eso es lo que va a ser más complejo. Vamos a necesitar todo vuestro apoyo, como con Sky, como con Betsy, como con los casos más complejos que hemos hecho de reconstrucción maxilofacial, porque no va a ser fácil, probablemente no podamos conseguirlo en una sola intervención y vamos a necesitar pues, que la energía de todos para poderle devolver a Apolo su vida normal, que se lo merece. Venga, gracias a todos.
So, Jorge, thank you. Let's see what happens.
So that's it. It's now or never. This is the moment of truth for Apollo. We need your help. Please, if you can, donate. Help us save him.
Hi, we have a problem. It's about Apollo. Apollo, as you may remember, was rescued in Greece a few months ago. He had a broken jaw, he had heartworm, that complicated things. We brought him here, we treated the heartworm, and he got implanted a special prosthesis for the jaw, the first of its kind. Surgery went very well, he recovered fully, and he went to live in a foster home with one of our nurses. A few days ago, I got informed that there was a little injury under his tongue, a few millimeters, that the prosthesis was opening up from there. So we fixed it immediately, and we put Apollo on antibiotics. But over the last couple of days, the whole thing has opened up. The prosthesis is now completely exposed, and we need to go into surgery again. I have prepared a video recorded by Sergio this morning. Please have a look. You will understand how bad it is. This is the situation. We have to fix that jaw again. We can't give up on Apollo. We need you. The dog has, on top of the fracture, he has heartworm, and they don't have the right medication, and they don't know the extent of the problem with heartworm, and they don't know how many worms he has and how big they are. So we're gonna have to fix that.
Hi, I have bad news to give you. Apollo, our beautiful Apollo, has been stolen from us. Now, Apollo is fine, don't worry about that, he's happy, he's living in a family. But I'm gonna tell you the full story from the beginning to those of you that are new who don't know who Apollo is. And I'm gonna tell you what has happened in the end. About a year ago, my team and I went to Greece to rescue two dogs. One was the Greek Hachiko, a dog that had been living on the road for a long time and that was awaiting rescue. No one did anything for him, they just kept him there. And then there was another dog down south at a shelter, at a DASH shelter, called Apollo, who had a broken jaw, was in a terrible condition, and he also had worms inside his heart. So after we rescued Hachiko, we drove down south for hours to get that little doggy. I'll never forget the first time I saw him. It was heartbreaking to see a dog so small in a shelter so big, surrounded by gigantic dogs. Really, that doggy wouldn't have made it. It was just a question of days. So we took him with us, we took him to Spain. We flew that same day, actually the following morning, and he went straight to the hospital. Hachiko came to my house, and then Apollo went straight to the hospital. When he first arrived, we saw that his heart was full of worms, so the priority was to get rid of those pesky worms. It took us weeks, actually a couple of months, I believe, of drug medication to get rid of those worms. And then we started dealing with the problem of the jaw. The jaw was in a terrible condition. There had been extensive damage, tissue, bone. It was a disaster. So we had to start by preparing the jaw. It was a series of surgeries and really complicated. We didn't only have to fix the soft tissue issue, but then we also had to make a jaw prosthesis. It was a jaw prosthesis made with an innovative material. It was sent to us from South America. It was great. We did a first surgery. Surgery went well. Apollo was so happy. After all this time with a broken jaw, suddenly he could use it. He could eat normally. Wow, that dog was so happy. After the first surgery, we received so many letters from all over the world, people that wanted to adopt him. But one of his nurses, Alba, one of her nurses said that the one that was closer to him, that was feeding him every day, taking good care of him, she said that she would like to adopt him. I thought, well, that's nice. The girl that is doing so much for him, the girl that knows him and he knows her so well. So we did a screening. Everything seemed perfect. She worked at the hospital. She's taking care of Apollo. So yeah, we agreed on the adoption. Good girl, we thought. So after the first surgery, Apollo went to her place to recover. After a while, he developed a small injury on the base of the jaw, so he had to be operated again, fix that issue. Then he came back again to her house. She took good care of him. Then after a couple of weeks, the tissue started receding, the jaw became exposed. That was such an inconvenience. We made an appeal. We operated him again. We fixed the issue. But then again, the tissue receded, the jaw became exposed, and we had to operate him to take the prosthesis out. That prosthesis wasn't going to work. We were going to make another one. We're going to fix the first model and then make another one and put it. Now, I have to mention that whenever you have procedures like this and surgeries like this, the first try rarely works. This is why you see news about people that had major burns and they say that they had 16 surgeries. And you see prostheses, you see implants, you see transplants. They rarely ever work the first time. Medicine is not an exact science. So many things can go wrong, and they usually go wrong. But usually with persistence and with good knowledge and with a great team, you can make things work. So Apollo went after that surgery. When we took the prosthesis out, he went to his home, to Alba. And to recover well, he was doing great. Then one day Alba wrote to us a letter saying that she didn't think that Apollo should be operated again, that Apollo was fine home, was very happy. He was eating well, he was eating soft food and very happy, putting on weight, happy. So I replied to her, look, this is really not your decision to make. This should be our decision together with the medical team. It's not really up to you. True, you have adopted him, but you have adopted him on the condition that the treatment gets completed. This is the reason why we don't let families take care of treatments, because they rarely ever understand the medical issues surrounding this. And then is the issue of cost for them. So this is why we always pay for all the treatments ourselves. We don't let families to pay for anything. They don't pay for transport, they don't pay for medical treatments, they don't pay for anything, because we don't want them to be the ones taking the decisions. So I say to her, look, we'll take this decision together with the medical team. I agree that it doesn't look too good, because after the first prosthesis has been rejected, there will be further complications. So I told her, look, if Apollo is happy, if he's not suffering, if he's eating well, as he obviously is, maybe we'll leave it like that. But I told her, I will need to make an update on him, an update on Apollo. I would like to explain our community, you that are watching this, why Apollo hasn't been operated again. why we have stopped the treatment. There are so many of you that have helped this little baby from the beginning, from the moment when we brought him, the Heartworm treatment, the 2-3 surgeries after that. The community deserves to know what happened to Apollo, so we'll make a video. She said, well, yeah, sure, we'll make a video. And then the day when we're gonna meet at 11:30 to shoot that video, showing how happy he is, explaining why he's not gonna be operated again, she sends us a text and she says that there will be no video, there will be no update, that we've already given enough information about Apollo, that this is her dog right now, that the dog is happy, that he's well taken care of and happy, and that he will never be exposed again to anyone. And I told her, look, there are a lot of people that are gonna be very pissed off. These people deserve to know how he is. So she just hung up and left. So I was like, no, how is that possible? So I called the hospital. I called my friend Jorge, whom all of you know. And Jorge tells me that that girl had been let go recently. Her contract wasn't renewed because she wasn't a good team member. She was creating problems at the hospital, so she was let go. So now it seems that in vengeance for having been let go of the hospital, that girl has decided to stop letting us see Apollo. We couldn't even make an update. So I spoke to the management of Anicura Veterinary Hospital, Valencia Sur Veterinary Hospital. I spoke to the manager, to the country manager, and I say, what happened? I said, look, this is your employee. You have let her go, and as a retaliation, she has taken our dog, and she doesn't let us know how he is. He tried to speak to her, and she basically refused and hung up the phone. And this is what the situation is right now. So I wanted to let you know what has happened. I wanted to let you know that we are going to start legal action. I don't know if we're going to succeed or not, because the truth is that we already gave her Apollo. Apollo is now on her name, and he's microchipped on her name. But we're going to try something, because we believe that Apollo has been stolen from us. She didn't fulfill her part of commitment. We were supposed to have a treatment. She stopped the treatment unilaterally, and she has refused us to let us see him again. Now, I'm not going to be giving her full name here. I'm just going to say her name is Alba. If any of you would like to leave a message for her, just please do that in the comment section. I'm sure many of you will have very clear feelings about what she has done. In the meantime, we're going to start legal action. Let's see if she enjoys having to take on lawyers and to have to explain her case publicly. I don't think she will. Maybe she does, I don't know. Leave a message for Alba. I'm sure she's going to be reading this. You tell her exactly what you think of what she's done. I assure you Apollo is well. I mean, as far as I know, he's fine. He spent a great summer. They used to go to the river, and I have great pictures of them. So he's fine. But the callousness, the viciousness of her reaction. You see, adopting out animals is a very tricky situation. The fact is that you really never know how people are going to react. You never know what people are going to come up with. I mean, over the years, we've met amazing people, but we've met some really shitty guys that will tell you anything to get a dog, and then they'll just do whatever they want. We have systems in place so that this thing doesn't happen. One, most importantly, is our adoption conditions, and the fact that we build a really strong relationship with those people. But even in those cases, things can go wrong. I mean, imagine, Alba is the nurse that took care of Apollo, and she was working at the hospital, and for months she took care of him. And even someone like this can do something like that. So, as I say, Apollo has been stolen from us. This is our view, and this is how it will go to court. And I really hope that Alba comes down to her senses, because if she doesn't, she's about to face something that she doesn't expect. Us. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Let me tell you his story. His rescue is one of the most dramatic rescues we have ever performed. We went to Greece, to a shelter in the south of Greece, where there was this tiny dog, barely 3.5, 4 kilos, really no bigger than this. A dog that had terrible injuries on the face. The jaw was completely broken and detached, and there was really no knowing how long he had been in this situation. The fracture was terrible, the bone was exposed, and there was this dog at this shelter trying to survive, trying to find a way among all these big mastiffs and giant dogs. The owner of the shelter asked us for help, and I said yes. So we brought the dog to Spain, to our hospital here in Valencia, where we immediately started treatment. Now, Apollo didn't only have the fracture in the jaw, Apollo also had heartworm, and that was really terrible because it was stopping all chances for treatment until we solved that problem. So first we had to deal with the worms that Apollo had inside his heart, and that was a 3-4 month long treatment. Before that, if he had gone into surgery, he would probably have died. Plus, he was extremely thin, emaciated. So for 3 months, we fed him by hand. We gave him soft food. I mean, really, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. Now, while this happened, while we dealt with heartworm, we started preparing a prosthesis for the jaw. Now, we immediately realized that there was no way we could fix those bones. Most of the bone matter was lost. There was a complete fracture. There was tissue damage. I mean, it was terrible. We had to start from scratch. So we designed a special prosthesis that will replace all the broken parts and will enable him to eat again, to drink normally. The tongue will come back to the place where it was. I'm telling this in a short video, but this is something that took months and months of preparation, of making Apollo ready for surgery, of getting him to speed. The blood levels were very low. I mean, I cannot overestimate how difficult it was to get Apollo ready for this surgery. But Apollo took everything really well. He is a strong dog, and he had a wonderful character at the hospital. Everyone loved him, and everyone was rooting for him. Now, this is a dog that deserved a second chance, and we were gonna give it to him. Now, during this time, I was approached by one of the nurses. Her name was Alba. No point of giving her surname. Well, I'm gonna explain you what she's done, and you'll have a clear picture of the kind of person she is. So, Alba told us that she was one of the nurses that was taking care of Apollo every day, feeding him daily. And, contrary to the other ones all the nurses, they like the dogs that we work with, and, everyone is really involved. But Alba had fallen in love with Apollo. And she said that eventually, after the treatment finished, that she would like to take him home and be her final mother. Now, initially, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure for a number of reasons. First, we didn't know what kind of condition will Apollo end in. We didn't know if the surgery was going to work. We didn't know if he was going to need intensive treatment. Maybe he was going to be a dog that would be better taken care of at the White House by Maribel and our team. But we thought, okay, well, she's one of the nurses. She's in daily contact with him. Obviously, we're going to give her a chance. And what we want is we want all our dogs to have families. Now, we don't want to have a collection of dogs with chronic conditions, and we want all our animals to go home. We want all our animals to have a chance. This is why, I mean, some of the most complicated rescues we've had, they all had homes. They travel the world sometimes. Sometimes they are adopted here. Sometimes they go to the United States, to France, to Germany. But we are all about homes. This is why we're called Let's Adopt. We are not called Let's Keep. I mean, we are Let's Adopt. So let's find a home for Apollo. So it looked to me like she would be a good candidate. She was really taking good care of him, and she clearly loved him. I could see some problems though. I could see that she wasn't getting along with the team at the hospital, that some of the other nurses didn't really like her. Anyway, we decided to go ahead. She was nice enough, and she was taking good care of Apollo. So we prepared him for the first surgery, and we placed the jaw prosthesis, the new one, and it went really well. It was unbelievable. The first images of Apollo with a normal jaw again, you know, being able to chew, being able to drink normally. It was beautiful. Also, his character changed because suddenly he felt so empowered. He was back to being a normal dog. And that was really wonderful, and everyone in the community cheered us up and cheered for him, and it was really great. He was at the hospital during this time. He was recovering, and he was doing really, really well. Unfortunately, soon we started having problems. There was a little injury on the tissue that didn't heal, and it got worse, and the tissue started receding. And we could see that the prosthesis was being rejected by the body. God, when Jorge told me this, I said, look, man, this is, I mean, we know that these things can happen. It happens all the time. It happens to human patients in human hospitals. I mean, prostheses are a complicated thing. When they work really well, but when they don't work, then you have to start again. So Jorge said, look, we're going to try to fix this. We're going to have to pull back the tissue that is receding. We're going to try to fix this. So we started this process. He was operated again, and initially it went okay, but soon we realized that it wasn't going to be a solution. There were another couple of surgeries to try to fix the problem, always changing a little bit the strategy, adding a little bit of something that would have made the outcome come out differently. But the fact is that the Apollo was rejecting the prosthesis, and we had to take the difficult decision to take it out, sit down, reassemble, and look for another solution. Now, during this time, Alba kept on insisting and kept on telling us that she wanted to adopt him, give him a good life. Can I take him out for the weekend so he can come with me to my house and stay for the weekend? Sure, Alba, take him. So Apollo will go to her house and they'll stay there. Really, she kept on sending us wonderful pictures, and you know, we had no reason to believe that she was a bad person and that Apollo wasn't going to have a wonderful time with her. So adoption continued, and we decided to formalize it. So Alba, this is your dog. Don't worry. We're not going to look for another family. We know this is a complicated case. Maybe he will have to come back to the hospital later. You live nearby. So yeah, you can keep the dog. Right. So the treatment continued. Apollo stayed with her. He had to go back to the hospital every once in a while for a checkup. And then something happened. One day she tells me that she's leaving the hospital for undisclosed reasons. She didn't get along with the team didn't get along with her. I really don't know. What Jorge told me was one thing, and then what she told me was a different thing. I honestly believe Jorge better. But I mean, she wasn't a team member. She wasn't fitting in with the team. She had two strong views, two strong opinions about everything, and she really wasn't liked at the hospital. So they let her go. I mean, when this happens, God, you know, I thought, wow, my God, so you left the hospital, but please promise me that you're gonna take him back to the hospital for treatment. We're gonna continue with the process that we have started. Sure, no problem. She said that she was looking for another job, but obviously this was the hospital and they knew Apollo and the process will continue and everything. So, fast forward a few months later, she stopped taking Apollo to the hospital. You could see that she stopped communications with us. So at some point I say, okay, look, really the prosthesis is not working. We are evaluating whether to continue or not. And she tells us, look, we have decided that Apollo is not going to continue her treatment. And I say, well, hold on a second. It's not for you to decide. It's for us. Apollo is our rescued. We have accepted all responsibility. We have been paying for all his vet bills all this time until now, and we're planning to continue. But this decision has to be taken by us, not by you. We have the perspective of 2 decades nearly of animal rescue. We saved his life. We brought him. We assumed the responsibility. And now you tell me that just because you have him at home, you're deciding to stop treatment because you love him very much? I mean, who are you to take this decision? A different thing is if I agree with the decision, but the decision has to be ours, not yours. We're in the same place here. We all want the best for Apollo. Now, we have a perspective different to the ones of families. We can see further. We know what works, what doesn't work. We don't euthanize just because. We don't give up just because. Plus, we have the possibilities of having a large community behind us that lends us their support. So we will start talking with the vets. We will see what is best for him, but don't tell us that you're taking the decision to stop treatment. She didn't like that answer. I could see that from that moment on, she completely changed. Now, a few days later, I told her, look, it's fine in principle. We are not too confident that further treatment will be effective. But let's get together. Let me see how Apollo is. Let me make a video. Let me explain the community what is going on and why we are not going to continue the treatment. And that's it. I mean, if you explain the community, if we explain you what happens, there's no problem. But if suddenly Apollo disappears, people are going to be really upset. Now, most of these people have donated to his surgeries, to his care. I mean, these people, you deserve respect, and that's what we want to give you. So let's get together, let's shoot a video, let's show everybody that Apollo is fine, and then continue caring for him, continue loving him, continue giving him a good home, taking good care of him, making him happy. So she said, okay, let's get together. We're gonna meet by the river where he goes and he enjoys it, and we'll shoot a video and explain. And then suddenly, Sergio and I, we were about to go over there, and she said, look, I've decided that we're not gonna meet. You're not gonna see Apollo again. We will never show him a picture or a video or anything. You've had enough, and now he's our dog, and we will take care of him. I was so shocked. I said, wow. All right. Even Sergio, when he saw it, he said, hostia. I mean, it was a really bad word in Spanish. I mean, how could this person do this to us? I mean, we had been nothing but nice, nothing but supported, nothing but supportive. We had paid for every single bill, and we were continue paying for the bill. I mean, this is the kind of people we are. When we go into something, we go all in. We never let anybody down. But there was this person suddenly decided, no, you will never see him again. Now he's our dog. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Goodbye. I was furious. Seriously. It was one of the most frustrating moments you could imagine. Immediately, I called Jorge, his ex-boss, who told me that she really wasn't a team member and she had to be let go, and that he understood that now she was working at a human hospital. I thought, oh my God, no, this kind of person is working at a human hospital. We immediately decided, okay, we're gonna pursue some kind of legal option. But the fact is that our legal options are very limited, if not non-existent. The fact is that this is her dog right now. The dog is chipped on her name. He has a passport on her name, and it's her dog. And for us to be claiming in front of a court that she doesn't let us see him, it just wouldn't work, and it just doesn't work. And the lawyers say, look, this person is a piece of shit, is a disgusting individual, is a nasty piece of work, is clear, but She hasn't done anything illegal. There is nothing for the courts to intervene. In principle, she's not harming the dog. All the pictures that we have of Apollo are Apollo being happy and being well cared for. We cannot start a police action just because she's not letting us see him. So this is where we are.
It's an animal world out there. Watch the World Animal Awareness Society channel and feel right at home. Come, sit, subscribe, and stay a while.